hotline talk, and a Batmobile. That's it. This is Jackie.
Most boring, exciting movie I've ever seen. I'm Justin.
I can't believe no one was killed in this thing. I'm Sam, and this is HB Halecki's Gone in 60 Seconds on Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness. You can insert the usual pluggery in at the beginning. Actually, it's not really a plug. I'm not sure what you call your usual... What is that, your tagline? I guess we watch movies and we talk about them thing. What is that?
The intro?
Is that an intro or is it a tagline? Like, would you say, if you were to write the opening to the show, Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies, for bad movie lovers, by bad movie lovers?
Called it the opening to the show, so that's what it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, that's what this thing is. This week on the podcast, we've got 1974's Gone in 60 Seconds, starring nobody we ever know. Currently streaming on Tobey. I think it might be also on Vudu. Any of the ads ones, I think, is where it's at. So you do have access to this if you don't have a Blu-ray Wiimaster.
I think there's DVDs out there still. I got this when it was like right after it came out. I think I spent $8 or $9 on this. Mm-hmm. The Blu-ray is going for $335 on Amazon right now. So I was like, I shouldn't have even touched that. It's made of gold.
Okay, we're going to stop the podcast and then we're going to create a heist where we go out and steal 48 copies of this movie and sell them to some rich banker on a yacht, I guess. I don't know.
There's a point where you're just priced out of it, right? Like, I don't know that who's going to... $335. Also, that means they just need to... if the price is at $300,000, whoever run this off the press, it's time to run more off of the press. Yeah, if they're going for that, right?
Well, at the same time, why is it going for that? It's not like you can't watch it. It's for free on Tobey.
For how long? Movie rights are wacky.
I guess. I don't know, man.
His widow owns the rights to everything.
Yeah.
He was married for all of 3 or 4 months before he died.
Okay.
And she has it all. And I don't want to say anything bad about her, because she sues the piss out of anybody that says anything bad about her. She's really nice. Okay. Thank you for making this available. There's good and bad. There's a weird thing on the special edition of this that she's just got a interview with Lee Iacocca about the Mustang, and I'm like, what the fuck is this even on here? And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, this is a really good Lee Iacocca interview. Thank you, Denise Halecki. Thank you. Like, this is super interesting stuff. The Deuce didn't want to make the Mustang. He's like, it's gonna be another Edsel.
Yeah,
guy was a real turd. Weirdly enough, named that.
Yeah. Okay.
Did anybody else notice that this movie was produced by HB Halecki and Junkyard Incorporated?
That's who made the movie, is his towing company.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Okay. So he's on. All right.
So here we go.
Yeah. Just tell us who HB Halecki is, Sam.
Tobey. His friends call him Tobey.
Okay.
Tobey Halecki.
Mm-hmm.
He's from New York. His family has a garage that's apparently still going in New York. He moved out to California, started his own garage, a towing company. I'm thinking he repossessed cars. He knows way too much about stealing cars.
Yeah.
He knows way too much about stealing cars.
Is willing to share it like it's on a YouTube video.
This is an instructional on how to steal cars.
And then how to get away with it as a professional. Like, how to swap the VIN numbers, where the VIN numbers are located, how to make sure that you don't get caught with the wrong engine.
Right.
He can drive as good as any race car driver, yet has never had to race. Maybe it wasn't any money in that.
Okay.
He's driving when he's driving that dump truck with the Charger on the back of it. That's some driving.
How does he not lose that thing? Oh my God. Okay, I'll save it for that scene. But
he's a good tow. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
he makes this
officially
movie
a tow driver. He's questionably some other things.
Well, he's had his fingers in a lot. You can't just make this movie for a couple $100,000, right? Mm-hmm. He would close the production down, and they say things like he would close the production down and some of the red. I watched all the special edition stuff, so I got a little bit better feel of what really happened. So the garage was open the whole time. They shot a lot on Sundays, and the reason they shot on Sundays is that code enforcement for film permits people took Sundays off. That's how you shoot this movie in LA in the 70s without any fucking permits. You film on Sundays.
You film on Sundays, you sell on Mondays.
You win it on, yeah, exactly.
Ayacoca.
So the people that were running for their lives were people that were running for their lives.
Oh my God.
The police were police. The firemen were firemen. The mayor of Carson was the mayor of Carson.
Oh, boy.
Everyone played themselves pretty much in this movie. He crushed 35. The wiki said 10 vertebrae, but his buddy that was the camera guy for this, he looked down at the ground and he's like, I think he crushed 35 vertebrae, and he never walked the same after that jump.
Jesus. You're talking the big one? The big
jump?
one,
yeah. The one that he showed us 4 times or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that's like that in the original version. I can't remember that, because this got scrubbed like hard to get it back up. And the only way to get it back up was to like go to the original film. And they when they were doing it, they changed elements of the film. Like, there was a lot of wall-to-wall carpet, music-wise, in the original version, and they decided that it would be better, and he would have liked it better if they could have had more sight sound. And a lot of the people that knew him were like, no, he would have wanted, if you can get it to sound good, then he would have liked that. So this version that's out now might be a little bit better of a version, more polished version than the original, but it isn't necessarily the original version of the film, which stirs some level of controversy that only exists on VHS. And the VHS copies of this, the original of this, are probably getting very, very poor.
Yeah, slim to unviewability.
And they're wearing out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and say that the version that's on Tubi... Now, you watched this on DVD, right, Sam?
Yeah, I watched the $335 version of it.
Right.
Even though I only paid $8.
Oh my God.
So the version we watched had a lot of definitely post-production sound effects that were not at the same level or quality as the rest of the sound effects. Like, and they were specifically things that were happening off screen. So it's almost like the original cut, the editor didn't know what to do in the certain sequences, and so like, I'll add a little post-production sound effect so that people know that a tire's blowing out here, because that's not on screen.
There's a lot of ex post facto, like after the movie's been released for 30 years on the re-release of this, that got added in. Tons of voiceovers. The tons of voiceovers were probably on purpose, because I've already had to shoot without sync sound, a lot of it, because he's probably running a loud camera. You saw the size of the crew at the end of the credits. The crew's frame was 2 frames.
Yeah.
2 frames. Like fucking 15 fucking people made this movie for like $100,000 while they were still fixing cars during the week to fucking pay for it.
Right. And fixing the cars that they crash.
So, yeah, the Cadillacs that got really crashed were his. He bought. The guy hit him way too hard and smashed him into the actual dealer cars. That was a problem.
Oops. Sorry.
Oopsie.
I guess it doesn't sell on Monday?
Yeah, some of those do. So, like, that's the thing, is that he got, like, 93 cars. And that's where like, over 93 cars crashed, because it's over because they only counted his that he bought for this. And he was buying them at auction for on average value was $200, which still, I mean, is that $20,000 right there?
Oh, well,
yeah,
93 times 200. No, that would be $20,000. Yeah, you're right. In today's modern money, that's probably adjusted for inflation. That's probably like $70,000-$80,000. So it's a chunk of change.
It's a chunk of change for a guy that doesn't have any. I mean, he's got money because he had apparently, before he decided to make the movie, he'd gotten into real estate as well. So he was pretty diversified. After this movie, oh boy. So no one in Hollywood is going to let you fucking release this via their channels when they're like, no, you fucking cowboy son of a bitch. You're going to tear this whole glass house down that we have if we release your movie that you just fucking made on the sly. So he had to go to independent theaters and show it. And then he would buy more reels and send it out. But when he started, he put the car, and he built that car too.
Which one?
The Eleanor.
Okay. All right.
So Eleanor is not just a Mustang. That car has got a NASCAR roll cage in it, and then he reinforced the entirety of it. It's like a demolition derby car, and it's got a fucking his version of a Roush engine in the goddamn thing. Okay. That car didn't hit that telephone pole. They stopped filming and then like fixed it. He fucking hit that telephone pole on accident, knocked it fucking over, and drove that car off in the same fucking shot. That car is a fucking achievement.
Wow.
He put that fucking car that still drives on the special edition. There's him and his wife in that car, and he's just hooning around in that fucking thing.
We saw that at the end as well.
Okay, good. So, yeah, that car still works. So he put it on a trailer and would take it to the theater for like an event for the weekend, and he'd stir up a bunch of get the theater full weekend. And he also had a guy apparently named Big Tiny that was his quote unquote muscle. Because some of the theater owners were like trying to scrape, because that's the deal. It's like, I'll bring the movie, you get the concessions. And they were trying to keep some of his money, and he'd have to squeeze the theater owners for his own fucking cash. He sent a guy around who would rough him up, I guess. It was,
oh boy,
like there's a whole thing with this guy. Like, whew.
It almost sounds a lot like what was the guy that did Gone with the Pope? What was his damn name?
Duke Mitchell.
Yeah, Duke Mitchell. No, it almost sounds like a Duke Mitchell sounds.
No, he's more like the guy for what's his name? That did Billy Jack.
Oh yeah, what is his name? I can't remember.
The Billy Jack guy did the same thing as this, only to a greater degree. However, I don't know if this was all told or just then. Apparently, this thing has made $40 million on like probably 100,000.
Yeah, right.
That's a lot. Yeah. So he does 2 other movies after this. Then they're not like just different movies. They're sequels with different names. He plays the same character. The same people are in him mostly. The Junkyard Man and Drive to a Thief or something like that. I can't remember what the third one's called. I couldn't find those. They have the fucking chase scenes to them, though, on the special edition DVD, which kind of made me mad because I was like, oh, that kind of, if I can't find these, it's like I have part of them, but not all of them, and that hurts.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if that is pain, Sam. I bet you just watched this movie again with a different stunt sequence in it, and now they've given you the stunt sequence.
I liked this beginning when he was sporting around in different outfits like Chuck Norris. That was fun.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, they're direct sequels, and then he just got married to Denise, and they were going to do Gone in 60 Seconds 2, or just Gone 2, which is really like Gone 4 at this point if he's playing the same character in all these movies. Right. He played multiple parts in the other ones according to the credit list, so that has me interested.
So wait. The guy who bankrolled this is the lead character in here?
He's the producer, director, writer, stuntman. Writer, he would write scenes before they shot because there was like the train crash at the beginning. That just sort of happened. He was like, oh shit, get everybody together. This train just crashed. he runs down there and is like, talks UP into letting him in. And you can't talk them into anything. And he fucking talks him into letting him shoot around here. And I'm like, what the fuck? You talk UP into something? That's insane. People just hit you with a wrench if you try to talk to them.
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that opening scene. Like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't fit anywhere.
It's kind of weird that there's a train, and it kind of looks like this train was hit on purpose. Like, this is not like a movie type setup. It didn't look like a movie setup.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any movie type setups.
And now that I know that, I'm like, oh my God, did that guy really die? Like
it's a technical term.
Conductor guy? Because they say in the movie that he died and the brake guy died.
Okay, so the best I can figure out what happened there was an actual semi that smashed into the train, where, did one of the I ain't stopping for shit things, or he was on the tracks. Oh shit, I stopped for shit. And the train was like, I can't stop for shit. Choo choo. And they smashed each other. That's because there's a shot of some carnage that I believe I saw had a semi-truck trailer attached.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There was an accident though. Yeah. And that's the movie, right? He would rewrite small snippets of dialogue for sequences the day of and things like that. Mm-hmm. He directed it, he acts in it, and he's a stuntman. He does all the driving. That's why the fucking wigs are written into it. Like, everybody wear these wigs. Why are they wearing the wigs? It's not so they can get away with it. It's so that he can drive every fucking stunt sequence.
Ah. Okay. I just thought they got a deal on the wigs.
No, I don't think well, actually, his wife said that he wouldn't get anything unless he got a deal on it. So after he gets pretty rich off this, he made his own, like, Knott's Berry Farm. Like, it's the mercantile thing. He made that into a bigger deal. He had over 200 cars in his collection. He'd fly anywhere to buy a car.
Okay.
He had the largest collection of toy cars in the world. So it was like it was a car lover's, like, wet dream was his house.
Wow.
It was a damn museum of cars. I don't know what happened to it.
He doesn't happen to live in the Belleville, Illinois area, does he? Because there was some guy, there was a big estate sale this last weekend, and it was the toy lover's dream. And you went on and you were looking at the estate pictures, and I mean, this person had die-cast cars, Hot Wheel cars, model cars. They actually had, like, old cars for sale that were in the garage. And I mean, it was like every car that you could possibly imagine. And then, like, Transformers, and it was freaking nuts.
Jackie, I don't know if you missed the part where Sam said he's dead.
Well, I know.
He's been dead since night. I'm getting to the sad part, okay? And they lived in L.A., kind of. I think he might have lived in Rancho or something. I don't know where he put the museum thing, but... So anyway, he gets married to Denise, and she is going to play his sidekick in the revamped situation for Gone 2, even though there's already 2 sequels. 3 months into filming, he gets killed by a water tower because they were going to drop a water tower on a semi, and the rig failed, and he was killed. They were also going to crash 400 cars because Junkyard Man has the Guinness Book of World Record for 150 some odd cars crashed.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm kind of interested in Junkyard. I'm interested in the rest of it. I am. But tragically, he's killed. And then I don't know what happens to the footage. I don't know if anybody knows what they think that they have it. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Not that he doesn't. There's no footage of him getting killed because they were doing rigging. They weren't even filming at that point. Right. But there's a lot of stuff shot already on that. And rather than finish it, she actually got together with one of his buddies that has good connections in his own distribution for home video. It basically leverages the rights for Bruckheimer to do Gone in 60 Seconds as a remake so that this can happen. So that's a good thing, I think, because these all got remastered because of that.
So is the
because I don't think Tobey would have wanted those fuckers touching his shit. But if his shit can live on in really good digital condition, he's like, all right, let Bruckheimer have it, right? Because I don't like after seeing this, the sequel maintains none of the same spirit as this film.
So
or the remake.
Oh, you mean the remake?
Yeah.
So the one with Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds. Did they have to buy the rights from his widow then to make that?
She was a co-executive producer, so she just got... It's probably a really weird way that all of this happens, but yeah, she likes the movie. She thinks it turns out great. It cost like $100 million or something. It was one of the most expensive movies made to that point, I thought.
Yeah.
Because I do like that
It
movie.
did really well. Do you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, that's now the fun part. Maybe she's going to sue me. I don't know. Right after that is not so.
Should we preface this, Sam, with
cousins with Robert Kardashian?
Okay.
But she was also engaged to him for a while.
All right.
I think they didn't get married because they were cousins.
Okay.
Okay, and just so she knows, there is no money with Stinker Madness. Okay, like we,
you can't sue somebody for libel for saying
that she sued didn't have any money either because I'd never heard of him.
You can't sue somebody for saying she was engaged and that person was her cousin. If both of those things are true, you're not saying anything bad.
She sued Carroll Shelby for trying to reproduce the car he made for the new movie. You can't do that. And I think he just was like, okay, this is too much of a headache. I'm just not going to make that car. And people were going to not have it. Okay.
Weird.
Maybe she's a little... I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she's just
me.
a little sad because she's protective of her, dead husband's legacy.
She sued a guy. Yeah.
And maybe that.
I don't know about that.
You can't build a Mustang named Eleanor, otherwise she will sue the pants off of you.
Yeah.
Once you name the Mustang Eleanor, apparently it's her property. The people. There's a lot of legal experts that find that this is actually worked out for her. That it is extremely dubious, but it has worked out for her.
How about Elaine? It's not Eleanor. I built a car pronounced Eleanor. Huh.
Nevermore.
Yeah. What you got? You gonna sue me for Eleanor?
This car's name is Felonor with an F.
Is this like Little Debbie's where they rip off hostesses ho-hos?
Yeah. I guess.
Well, you can.
Yes.
You can make a yellow
Copyright.
car and name it, Sheila. They can't do a damn thing about it.
Ted. Okay. All right. Is that where we're at, Sam?
Yeah, that's where we're at. It's a pretty good film street, really.
Yeah, I mean, that was really interesting. And
it was more...
really sad that he passed away during the Gone too. But it sounds like she... I mean, I know that she sounds too happy and all that, but I mean, to me, it sounds like she's trying to protect her husband's legacy, and I can respect that. And you know what? Sometimes you have to sue people to fuck right off.
Yeah, if that museum still exists, then she does.
Yeah,
has done well. I don't know if that does though, because like if she auctioned all that stuff off, that would be like a dick move.
I would love to see that
at the same
museum.
time, I mean, like maintaining it probably would have been a huge pain in the ass. Like what's her face and all that cat preserve after the roar. Like, oh, now I have to keep it? Oh, God.
God damn it.
They eat me, though. The cars don't eat people.
I can't imagine the charity event at that wilderness preserve every year. Where these cats are so beautiful. She's like, fuck the cats.
It's on my face. Okay. All right. So what we got here? Starts out with this train sequence. We got this guy. I guess it's our guy Pace. Oh. There's only one character whose name matters in this whole movie, and his name is Pace.
Wait,
Adrian.
Can we back up just a second? Because the opening scene is him driving with like 10 pairs of sunglasses before he even gets to the train.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. I was going there.
Well, don't open up with the train sequence because the
his name. I said the guy. I'm talking about the guy. I can't talk about his sunglasses unless I bring up that there is a man who those sunglasses belong to. Otherwise, it's just a sunglass hut, Jackie.
Well, and he wears each pair, I believe, throughout this movie.
He wears a lot of them.
Yeah, I tried to keep track, but I kind of lost track.
The guy distributed this in the special edition features, and one of the interviews was like, he put that in there. I'm glad he put it in there because every time I rode in the car with him, he had like 10 of the most expensive pairs of sunglasses I'd ever seen so that he could just decide which ones, like on his dashboard all the time. So this is so this is so autobiographical, this whole movie.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, he's schmeving down the road pretty hard. I don't think this is legal because I don't think that these are also other movie cars that are on the highway. I think he's just driving down the highway hauling ass.
On Sunday, when he couldn't get nailed for permitting. Right. And I guess I don't know how much of the damn police are actually chasing him.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So he gets to this train wreck, and we learned that his whole deal is that he's like a private investigator for insurance companies so that he can get down to all the details on what happened and who's at fault. So by that, he's got connections with the police and access to vehicle records and DMV addresses and yada, yada, yada. So he knows where all the cars is. He's got his own shop. He's got his own towing company. It's all just this big grift around stealing cars via the insurance adjuster guy.
Yeah, he steals the cars. Then he's got a chop shop. He's doing that with these junkyard cars.
So I would just like to say that I did not figure out that he was the insurance guy until about 75% way through the movie. And then I was like, oh, he's the investigator guy? Like, I didn't get it until he came in to investigate the robbery of the Bronco. Right, and then I was like, what? Because I knew that he was getting the names from the other mustachio guy and the girl, but I didn't realize that he was involved with the actual insurance company itself.
The only way I was able to piece that together is because I was trying to figure out what this scene was about, and they said that he's an insurance investigator. Later, it's revealed again that he's an insurance investigator, which then clarifies the entire movie.
Sort of. I didn't know he was the guy in the wig and the mustache until when he's walking past the guy. I was like, wait a second. That's oh, God. This has been the same guy the whole time. So yeah, what his racket is that he's chopping cars, selling those, but he's stealing cars, investigating them, probably moving them, repoing them, and getting he is double dipping. He's like a superfecta of dipping in the car thievery.
So I think what he's doing, and the only way to make money on this, because you could look at it and say, okay, he goes to a used car auction, buys a junked, decent car, and then takes it back to his shop and pulls the guts out of it and slaps it into another car that's the exact same car. Well, then how do you make any money? Well, he does that to mask the car, to hide the car. That it's laundering a vehicle at some point, because you can't just sell a stolen car. Well, then you're paying twice for a car and selling it once. Well, here's the thing, and those parts might not be good. Because when you go to a car auction, you don't get to poke around the car. You don't get to lift up the hood and be like, "What's it got in here?" You don't get to fire it up. You don't get to do anything other than stand outside of it and read the description plate of it. That's all you get to do at a car auction.
Not necessarily. I went to a car auction, and I got to start up the cars.
That's several days before. You can usually ask for the keys, but once the auction starts.
Not at a police auction. These are police auctioned cars because the car that is moving them around has police towing on it. These are at the impound. You do not get to touch the cars at a police auction. I'm sorry, you don't. So what he's doing, why this business works for him, is because he's the investigator. He gets to know what's under the hood. If that engine is still operable, if it's smashed up, that they can just swap it. Because if you go and steal a car and then get back to the shop and then your auction car, the engine's destroyed, it's cracked its head in the car accident, well, then you're stuck. But he's got so much of a grift that I was like, wait a minute, this is actually a pretty good car thieving ring.
He knows way too much about stealing cars.
Yeah. Like, this might be an actual thing. Because I just got in a discussion with my neighbor yesterday about car thieving, and there's two types of car thieves that I know about. Chop shops and hooners, where it's just joyriders, and they get in the car. Most of them are just joyriders. They steal your car. They hoon around in it for a little while, drink beers, and then they ditch it. And there's no money in it. They don't try to sell your car. They don't go to a black market where they sell dinosaurs and are also like, hey, here's a fucking 2003 Ford Fiesta, right? But the choppers, they chop it all apart, and most of the VIN serial numbered stuff just goes in a bin. It's worthless because of the tagging. It's
got to be so hard to do that with a modern car because everything is pinned on that car now. That's why I think I haven't heard about any market increase in car theft when cars are worth way too much money, and it's probably because it's just too hard to fucking mask them.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of the cars that are stolen are not awesome cars. They're like mid-90s Honda Civics, and they're all white because the cops are never going to notice you. So I guess now he's so good at stealing that he's got a man, and I don't know who the man is that's hiring him, but the job is, I think, $400,000 to steal 48 cars by Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah. $400,200 up front.
So what is that in today's money? Does anybody know?
$400K? I'm guessing probably a couple million. At least. Maybe 3.
At least. I mean, if you're going to do it from Thursday to Saturday, it's a real fucking haul. It's a real fucking haul a day.
But why the rush? Do we even know? What's the rush, guys?
The boat's going to be there that day. You can only sit on cars for so long. That's the only way that this is going to work.
Okay.
And somebody's showing off to their friends. These cars are
going to go to these are going to be shipped illegally out of the country by seaport. So they'll figure out what to do with them when that time comes. He's just going to put them on the dock.
So it's my understanding that they're on the dock, but they're all in a semi-truck. Because you see,
they're in that little warehouse.
Okay, so I don't get what the semi truck, when he disconnects the semi truck bed. What is that?
One of the cars to steal was a semi truck.
Oh, okay.
It's in the warehouse at the end.
We're gonna need a big rig. So he's got this guy as part of his team, and this guy's getting married. And he's like, hey, you don't get to go on your honeymoon. We got to steal 48 cars by Saturday. Then you can go on your honeymoon. And this guy's like, God damn it. And his wife's like, oh, just do it, Gary. And I think Gary is also the guy that he punches because he wants the heroin.
Yeah, he sucks. And I don't know if Pumpkin's his wife or what's going on there.
I thought Pumpkin was his sister.
Yeah, that's what's going on. So I think that they're his cousins, and it's like a family business, and he's like, you're still in, but if you keep being a butt, we're going to vote you out.
Don't be a dick, Gary.
I know, how dare you get married and then want to go on your honeymoon that you bought tickets for and you promised your wife. You son of a bitch.
And then, but at the same time, he is being a butthole. He's like, I'll see you in 3 weeks. I'm like, your honeymoon's 3 weeks long? Where were you, the fucking king of France? Jesus.
Yeah, someone tells me that his wife is a greedy bitch, and she's going to be like, oh no, Gary, we can just postpone this, and we'll get our money, and then you can buy me a bigger diamond when we're out on vacation.
No, I want to go to Hawaii.
No, I believe that they're going to Europe, Justin, because he says, hey, babe, next time this week, we're going to be in London.
Ah, okay. All right.
So not only that,
Cheerio.
but London...
I want to go to London, miss. Look at me. I'm drinking tea. And then he gets punched in the face.
Yeah, he's going to get his ass kicked in England.
Yeah,
They're
in the 70s.
They're not going to like this guy.
I'm not nicking cars this weekend, Gov. I'm going to drink some pints. God damn it, Gary. Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah, Gary's a fucking turd.
At this point, I'm like, why are you not letting him? Is he just answering the phone at the shop? Is that the only? Because he's not helping at all.
No,
he's just
like
answering
he's not doing anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Good God. No, I need somebody to answer the phone, and we're out of people, so it's up to you. And you're going to fuck that up.
I need somebody to stick around and call Domino's when we get hungry because we're busy stealing cars. All right, so they get off the plane and I guess back from the wedding that was in New York, and now they're in LA, and they see an Eleanor and they're like, hey, check it out. There's an Eleanor right there. We could just go steal Eleanor. And they can't because there's a lady in it, and they're like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Is this my car? Whoops, sorry, ma'am. And it's just stupid dialogue that sucks. There's also a Rolls Royce that pulls up, and that's on the list. There's like 8 Rolls Royces on the list, and they're like, oh, that's convenient. The keys are in it. We'll just take this right here, and it goes really well. So they already got a car. Just getting home, they've already checked one off the list.
It seems like
10 minutes in.
Nabbed like 3 cars at the airport, just like that.
Breathing. Like, hey, I got to stop off at the pisser. Man, that was a long plane ride. Oh, by the way, I stole a car in there.
Yeah. Like hell or high water. When he just robs the bank just for no fucking reason because there was one across the street. There was a bank there, so I fucking robbed it.
Yeah. It was really strange. I was doing my usual pee thing where I'm at the urinal and there was somebody next to me, and I went to like check out to see if his dong was bigger than mine, but instead it turned out if it was a fucking 76 Chevy, so I stole it.
Yeah. Shit, that's the Rolls. That's on the list.
And yeah, its dong was bigger than mine, but just so you know. That streak has not ended.
Could you hit somebody with a urinal cake?
Well, yeah. No, you can't, Jackie. It's part of the Heisenberg-Rosenbridge fucking.
Well, no.
It's a paradox in physics. No, you can't hit somebody.
Could you hurt somebody with a urinal cake, or would it just kind of crumble?
Yeah.
When you hit them with it.
I mean, if you hit them hard enough, they're not going to like it. Also, there's like levels of etiquette in public bathrooms that. Here's what you do in public bathrooms. You go to the bathroom and you leave. Wash your hands, you leave. You don't do anything else. Otherwise, you're fucking weird.
Okay.
Start talking to people for no reason. Oh, yeah. Hey, buddy. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I want to pee, wash my hands, and leave.
Also, I don't want to have anything to do with the urinal cake, ever.
Yeah, like, what would happen if I... Would you think it would hurt if I picked this up with my hands and hit you with it? If I grabbed something covered in other people's pee and then smashed it on your face?
Rubbed it up and down. You think that would hurt, huh, fella? That I don't know?
But what happens if you let out a big fart when you're taking a pee? Do you have to go like, oops, and like laugh it off?
What does that have to do with the urinal cake?
This is all about urinals. I got questions. Like you just blow ass when you're taking a pee.
No, you just keep going pee.
It's
usually, I believe, after going to the horse track a lot recently, I think it's proper etiquette that when you blow ass, you go, oh, afterwards, like, because it's just a bunch of old men at the horse track, right? And every time old people pee, they fart. Oh! Not in like a whoops sort of way, but like like it's a natural. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you fart, and then it's just the other side.
It works because if it hurts to fart, nobody's gonna fuck with you. Like, trying to hold that in, boys. Ow, that was a bad one.
I don't know if their poopers just get flappy or what, and it's like, it's like a recoil of a gun. So the team goes over their plan, and they've got gizmos that they never use. They've got CBs in the cars and communication devices, and it seems all very Danny Ocean-esque, but really it's just loosey-goosey scenes tied together. But their one rule is that they won't steal cars that are uninsured, because that's just mean.
Well, there's also a point where like he finds out that the one guy he stole the car from is like a honcho at an insurance place. I'm going to get that son of a bitch later. Like,
yeah.
Part of his little fully articulate 10-wing business plan is to ultimately fuck over the insurance companies who are fucking over everybody else.
Who pay him.
He's fucking them over.
He's paid by... That's his job, is to work for the insurance. Oh, okay. But yeah, there's this guy named Harold. And he's like, Harold, well, I'll get his car. Or maybe I didn't know it was his car, even though I have a list of cars and the registered owner's names right above it. And I seem to know Harold pretty goddamn well. But he goes to Harold's house and to steal an Eleanor. And he gets it. And Harold's wife is like, go let the dog out because it's not supposed to be in the house or some shit, even though it's just chilling.
And he's sitting there in a Snuggie, I swear to God, drinking a fifth that he's like trying to hide like he's a teenager.
Right.
Like, don't look at me. I'm going to sneak a little snip of snaps.
So he runs outside and sees his car getting boosted, and he chases after him in his other car. I guess maybe it's his wife's car or whatever. The keys are in it, and he just drives off. And the cops spot him, and they chase after, and Harold ends up pulling over in a gas station. I guess he got the slip or whatever. And he's like, that guy stole my car. And they're like, yeah, sure, buddy. We'll check it out, but we got to take you in. You take him back. Eleanor's back in the driveway. And he's like, but no, somebody stole it. So I guess Harold's arrested. And then our guy Pace is like, yeah, gotcha, bitch.
Well, he doesn't.
Because
he's putting the car back because it's already got too much attention. He can't steal that one now.
Yeah, and this is
he doesn't want to get caught.
This is also the same car that they tried to nick at the airport. It's the same license plate. It's the same lady.
Oh.
And so they've already tried to steal it twice now. And so now there's too much heat, like Sam says, and they got to let it go.
I don't know. I think you lay sideways in that car so the cops can't see. And then the cops are like, yeah, your car's right there, buddy. Nobody's trying to steal that. You pull out of the driveway. You take it to the boat immediately. And it's on the fucking boat. And then when Harold's like, hey, they stole my car. Once I got out on bail, they're like, yeah, sure, buddy. That's what you said last time. And the car was there. By the time this all gets pieced together, that car is gone. They have until Saturday. It's Thursday. He's probably not even going to see a judge today. He's not getting out until Monday. Car's gone.
Yeah, he could have done that.
Movie doesn't exist, and I would have been happy. This whole heist goes perfectly smooth. All 48 are on the truck by Friday afternoon. Done. That's just good shipping.
That's right. They're celebrating at the Applebee's.
Yeah.
The delivery is going to be earlier than expected, so you're excited, just like when your Amazon package is going to be early, and you're like, yeah!
Yeah, right. It's 20 minutes of just efficient logistics.
Yeah.
And urinal cakes.
No, there's no urinal cakes, Jackie.
No, because we're going to cut to London where this guy's going to be on his honeymoon. He's going to get hit with a urinal cake. And I'm going to be like, yeah.
They don't hit you with urinal cakes there, Jackie. They hit you with truncheons.
What the hell is a truncheon?
It's the nightsticks that the bobbies carry.
Yeah. They just hit you in the face with their fist.
Yeah. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be where? England? That's right. Get out.
Yeah. The guy like him, he just step off the plane and get punched right in the face.
Oi.
Do you have anything to declare? Yeah, don't go to England.
All right. So they steal some limos by ordering them. I thought that was really clever. You just call the limo company and say, hey, deliver a car. And they're like, here it is. And you're like, thanks. And then you drive it to a boat and it takes off. That was clever thieving.
Like, they're old people. You need to leave it running for the air conditioning and then come into the lobby. And then they just drive off with them.
You're going to want to save up all your Taco Bell shits and go straight to the bathroom after dropping that car off. Just take your time in there.
Yeah. I liked the stealing the foreign cars, too, because they couldn't get key codes for them.
Okay.
So he had an ignition switch that he could just plug right into the circuit board.
Yeah, right.
It was like, you know too much about stealing cars.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
Way too much.
I don't know if that would work, though.
That's the same principle of hot wiring. It just makes it go 10 times faster.
Yeah, he's just ready to... But it seemed like he tapped into the fuse box. I don't think that's how that would work.
I don't know if there was... Yeah, but it's the same principle as hot wiring, only it's going to work a lot faster. And so I'm like, you know too much about this. This is... wow. Because I'd never even seen that before.
Well, you have to disengage the ignition in order to hotwire a car. You're jumping the ignition. Whereas if you just clamp onto the ignition fuse, you're not completing a circuit. You're actually creating an entirely new circuit, I would think.
So if he plugged into both sides, this is the exciting radio when we talk about how electric circuits work. If he plugs into both sides of the same thing that need to be arced by the one ignition and then turns the key, he is going to complete that circuit.
But there's another circuit.
No.
There's double circuit because the original ignition still, you'd have to bypass it.
No, once he turns the key, the electric goes from one node to the other. It can make it.
Runs to the other ignition that's still in the car.
Nope, that's not how it works. It doesn't need... You can have an open... You can plug two switches to a circuit, and if you flip one switch, it will close that... It'll open the circuit.
So is that what happens when we see the first heist where he's got like the penis pump thing that he puts into the ignition and he's pumping it?
I didn't know what that was.
And then he puts the screwdriver in?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's like a way to just jam the ignition switch loose enough that you can manually turn it on your own without a key. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was just basically a key bump or something like that you can just now bypass the safeguards of the key portion of the ignition.
Yeah, because that was another one that I'm like, what the fuck is that thing? I mean, because I've seen in movies where they jam the screwdriver in, right, and turn it, but not the
that only works
action.
in 83 Fords, though. It just happens to work in all 83 Fords.
Yeah. There's only 16 keys to Toyota trucks. You can just get all 16 keys and you'll be able to take any of them.
Sam knows too much!
No, I just found that out because I was like, I had a used 4Runner and I lost the key and there was only one. I went to the dealership and they're like, oh yeah, that's not a problem. And he looks at me and he goes, there's only 16 keys to those Tacoma series. And I'm like, what? 2 days later, there's a black...
out of a trench coat.
So I had a 4Runner without any of the stupid stripes on it, which is more rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There was another black 4Runner without any stripes. I thought it was mine. I got into it and put the keys in the ignition, and then all of a sudden I start looking, and none of the shit is mine. It's like, oh my God, he's right. There's only fucking 16 keys, and 2 days after I found that out, I got into the wrong car and almost drove off in it.
Wait a minute. I wasn't listening to Toby Keith. Or was I?
No, there was a bunch of ladies' things in there, and I was like, this is not my car. Oh my God.
No,
Am I Moon Knight?
You looked at the back window and you were like, where are all the people having sex on the back of my car window?
That was pre that happening.
Oh.
How did I get here? Did I have a relapse where I blacked out for a couple days and my car, I put a bunch of weird stuff in am I two people? Ah!
If I wouldn't have been told about the key situation on the Toyotas, I think I would have been more freaked out. I probably would have been like, maybe I am losing time. Oh my God.
Did aliens get me for a while?
Yeah. But instead, because I had it fresh on my mind, that information, I was like, oh shit. Also, I need to get the fuck out of somebody else's car.
Right. She comes out. What are you doing?
Wait a minute. Actually, no. Hers has got all the nice features. Maybe I'll just
mine was nicer.
Mine.
Hers was an automatic too. So like,
good thing you were being honest for the sake of honesty rather than the sake of comedy.
Yeah,
mine was nicer.
Mine was.
Hers sucked.
Hers smelled like tampons.
Cool. Yeah, stupid girl.
Tampons and maxi pads. That's what her car smelled like. That was the first tip off.
Okay, all right, we're moving on because I have to prevent her from going further to black places. So they steal a few more. There's a tiger involved in one of them. That was kind of fun. It was a cute little guy. Just a little guy. Just wanted to pet him and rub his fur and then take my photo from my Tinder.
Borrows one of Cal Worthington's tigers. Because that's where that fucking thing came from,
right?
So because he had a car dealership too. Apparently, mm-hmm. I think he did this shit in real life. I don't know, but yeah, like so he's buddies with Worthington, I guess, and sure, why not put the tiger in there?
You seen Roar? Then Someone spots the Challenger from the beginning of the movie, the auction Challenger, at a lot for sale. And they're like, hey, I recognize the plates on that. That thing was totaled. What's going on here? Something sneaky. And so he's got to go down there. Pace has got to go down there in his tow truck. That's probably his tow truck. And tow that out of there. Well, while he's hooking it up, a security guard sees him and he's like, hey, I'm not sure you're supposed to be here. Show me your papers. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll show you the front of my bumper.
And I'm not sure that this guy should have had a security dog. I don't think that dog was properly trained. I think that dog was just a fucking butthole that he just kind of threw onto the hood of the car like, eat shit.
Yeah.
And this dog had like huge balls, and the dog was like barking, and then he jumped down on the other side and was trying to get him through the window, but his legs were too short. Like, he would have had more of a chance if he would have just let the dog like kind of put his front paws on the side mirror and then just kind of lean in.
And lick his face.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you're this guy, right, and you're a professional car stealer, you probably have a few dog bones or, you know, a leg of lamb or something.
Steak in the glove box.
Yeah, that you just kind of throw out in case of emergency. Because dogs will fucking eat anything, even if it goes bad.
You just grab it and you jam it in the security guard's shirt and watch comedy ensue. Flip him off while you drive away. Because this security guard's, he's going rogue.
He totally is.
Throws the dog on the fucking hood. He's like, I'm going to get you, you son of a bitch. And the whole time he's in there just like waving him off like, fuck off. Just fuck off or it's going to get worse. Fine. Yeah. And then he makes it worse. And then this jackass is like, I'm in pursuit. And they're like, you're a security guard. There is no in pursuit.
Who did you tell that to?
When you leave the site of the private property, your authority is diminished.
Yeah, and they go on a car chase, and it ends with, of course, the security guard crashing. And at no point do the cops get involved. Like, he radios in and says, I'm on the property. There's some guy towing something. This looks weird. I'm going to check it out. And then proceeds to chase him without being like, yeah, that guy took off. He stole that car. Somebody needs to call the cops. Well, that's your job, security guy. Yeah. That doesn't happen.
He doesn't do that. He keeps radioing back to base, and they're like, we fired you 3 days ago for bringing your dog to work.
Yeah. That's not a canine unit. You're a mall cop.
Although if I was a mall cop, I would have a canine. It would be Sonia. And since she is only 2 feet off the ground, or maybe a foot and a half, I don't know. She's a corgi, right? I would trick them into stopping and being like, okay, Sonia, lay down and pretend like you're hurt. And then she would run up in front of them, and then she'd be like, arr, arr. And they'd be like, oh no, I have to stop, even though I'm shoplifting because this poor dog needs assistance. And I'd be like, gotcha!
That's exactly what you do. You jump out from behind an aisle and say, gotcha. And they'd be like, no, you don't. Goodbye. Hey,
wait, come back. You were apprehended. You're breaking the rules of apprehension.
All right, so yeah, that happens. And they take the Challenger to the junkyard and they smash it.
Yep. Evidence is gone.
Which is really pretty sad.
That one got stolen.
And I didn't realize...
An RT as well.
And I didn't realize, like, I had to ask Justin, like, do they really do that? Because all this little tiny pieces where they had actually crushed it up. Because I knew that they crushed them down, but I didn't realize that they sent them through like a shredder.
Yeah. No, that's for all the glass plastic bits that come off during the crushing process. Yeah. Most of it stays in the ball when it can get melted, but a lot of the stuff comes off, and that's just the side spray from the crushing process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can't melt like the plastic and the vinyl and the seats and all that. You just want the metal to melt down, so it's part of the recycling process of car smashings. So they keep spotting Eleanor's, but they can't get them. None of those scenes are interesting, but it's just for later. We get Parnelli Jones in the middle of this, even though they already stole his car by this time in the movie. But he just wanted to be in the movie, or
He's friends with Tobey, I guess.
He lost a drinking bet. They sat down to do...
So I have to be in your movie?
They sat down to do the 100, and he couldn't do it. And then he had to be in the movie.
He's like, oh no, I'm in a movie. Oh, bummer, I lost. Who would say no? Of course I want to be in your movie. I'm a freaking race car driver. It's like, how many times has Jeff Gordon been in a movie? 6?
I don't know, but I feel like he's probably pretty stiff on screen.
Yeah. Wait, like stiff? Like
no.
Yeah. Love being in front of the camera.
He's a bit of a square.
Oh, he's a total goob, but doesn't mean
great driver, nice guy.
Doesn't mean he can't get a boner because he's in a movie. I mean, that's just natural.
Cameras give him a fear boner.
Who doesn't?
They gave him an automatic trapper keeper. They're like, which trapper keeper would you like this time, sir? And he's like, I'll take Paw Patrol, please.
These are officially called, in the business, we call them boner blockers. All right, so they keep stealing cars boringly, and one of them's it's a Cadillac, and it's got heroin. It's stuffed to the gills with heroin.
$1 million worth of heroin.
Yeah. I think it might be more than that.
Yeah, because they find more under the seats.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just everywhere.
And at this point, the dickhead that they stopped the wedding for was like, we're going to keep it. Even though they're...
And sell it.
Yeah,
I know what to do with heroin.
That's the best way. I'm going to call a guy I know and tell him I have a bunch of heroin.
I've got $1 million in heroin.
And the guy's going to kill me for stealing his heroin.
Right?
I don't think that Madrian Pace does the right thing either because the next day he takes it out to the desert and just burns it to the ground.
Yeah.
Just put it back.
Yeah, just put
it
back
man. And walk away.
Doody-doo. Well, they dropped a bag. And so...
Sure, whatever. Put it back, walk away.
So what if that's butterfly effect, Sam? I'm going to say no. I think you still burn this fucking thing. You burn that Evans. You take it to the car crusher and it just goes, pff, this big white cloud. But butterfly effect, you drop a bag, you take that car back, and the next day that El Dorado gets delivered to El Chapo, and El Chapo's like, hey, American dude, you're a fucking kilo light. What the fuck, man? The guy's like, no, you counted wrong. You weighed it all wrong. Give me my money. And then blam, 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 shots fired. There's like 72 people are dead, and they're all drug dealers.
That happens.
So actually, yeah. So
Fast
turn it
4.
In. You're right.
Isn't it Fast 4?
Yeah, take it back. You're right. I'm like, but all those people will die. Wait a minute.
Well, I don't know those people.
I mean, everybody deserves a second chance and all, like, I don't know. Fuck them. Yeah, but anyways, he takes it out in the desert and explodes it. And his cousin Gary's super pissed. He's like, you son of a bitch, that was a lot of money. And Mandrian Pace just punches him right in the mouth.
Yeah. Roughs him up real nice.
And at some point, they captured an Eleanor, and Pumpkin comes in, and she's like, that Eleanor, the list is complete on all I know, but that one's uninsured. And he's like, God damn it, lady, just this once.
Well, she's like,
no,
there was a plea in the paper, and they say that no questions asked, just return it. So then he goes out to a field and burns it, because that's what we do with cars we don't want to return.
Yeah. No, they put that one back.
No, he put the Eleanor back. He burned the Cadillac that was filled with heroin.
Yes, gentlemen, that was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except for it happening. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right, so...
So then Gary tips him off to the cops.
Yeah, Gary tips him off to the cops, and he's walking down. This is like this movie in a nutshell fucking right here. He's walking through the garage, cutting back to scenes of her smoking a cigarette and being like, oh, is he going to be okay? And tears rolling down her eyes and slow walking past cars. It takes like 5 fucking minutes. This sucked.
In the meantime,
I hated
you're thinking, Gary, you fuckhead. Because not only has he screwed them out of, a couple $1 million, $400,000.
Screwed them out of being killed by drug dealers.
Yeah, who are you,
you
mad
can't
at,
move,
Gary?
You can't find... If you find $2 million worth of drugs and you try to move it, Colombian necktie.
Yeah, you're dead.
No.
Dead. What's your beef?
No, because he tips off the cops that they're going after the Shelby. So they're going to lose the deal. So he's not going to make any fucking money.
No, Gary's an idiot.
Yeah. He's an idiot, and they should have voted him out years ago.
Yeah,
right.
He's a dumb fuck. And he's got a terrible shirt on with a hole in it.
That's because he got his ass kicked for being a dickhead.
Well, I mean, that's how big of a fucking asshole he is that he didn't even bother to change his shirt. He's like, I'm going to wander through the streets. People are going to feel sorry for me because I got a busted lip and a fucked up nose and I got a ripped shirt and I'm going to go see my mom right after I make this phone call.
I didn't get to go to England.
Where he would have got similar treatment.
Yeah, right? Day one at the pub. The hooligans find him.
Yeah.
Oi! All right, so Pace goes to get Eleanor at this hotel. He knows where one more's at. He goes there. The alarm goes off, and some undercovers just happen to be watching this one, and they're like, that's our man. And that's where the movie finally starts, I guess, really. That everybody signs up for. This is why he signed up for this movie.
Yeah, it's the 40-minute. This was the most extravagant car chase that had ever been made. Starkly in the fist of the Hollywood system in their own backyard.
This is 74. It's pretty early in the car chase. When's French Connection? 72?
75. Isn't it the same year as Dirty Harry?
I think it's before this. But either way, this is very early on in the extended, long, dangerous, people might die car chasing of the 70s.
Well, and you know what's worse about this is that they start the car chase off with, I guess the guy figured out his alarm's not working and has to get out of the car and rip out the alarm, and then the chase starts. So the cops are just being buttholes, and they're like, yeah, we want a car chase today, because they could have got him right then and there when he was standing at the hood of the car ripping out the alarm.
They could have pulled up.
And they were like, nope. You know what? It's been a while since I've chased somebody and slightly tried to kill pedestrians, so let's do this, Jerry.
And in fact, there's a whole like Kurosawa stare down sequence between the cops and they're both like, huh? Go! Let's do this! Yeah, car chase! You want to arrest me? Or should we have a little fun first?
Yeah.
All right, so the chase begins, and immediately, not even before he's out of the goddamn parking lot, Eleanor smashed into.
Yep.
Wait, that you can't, but, you're...
Now he's just got to get away.
Do you think that was an accident? Or was that part of the movie, do you think?
That's part of the movie. He built this to get smashed. Like,
he built it to get smashed, that's true, yeah.
I saw the pictures of the reinforced cage that he did on the inside and the out. It is impressive.
If I was writing a movie about stealing cars with a very long chase sequence at the end of it, there's only one way it works for me. I'm driving it like amazing, and they're like cars are exploding and bodies are flying and the usual Michael Bay crap, but that goddamn car is in perfect fucking shape so that when I slide sideways and do the cool thing where you exit the car as it's sliding and then you stand up and you like give the wink in the gun, and then it parks itself perfectly because you just know that's how you drive. That car's in perfect shape. Or where at the end the car's in perfect shape, but between you and the place where you would slide into sideways and then walk out and do the wink in the gun is a line of cops, and they all have bazookas aimed at your wife's face, and you're like, and then you just drive into the ocean. But the car is perfect as you drive into the ocean, like it's over, like vanishing point.
What
you know?
happened in the newer one, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but that's why you're not the Crash King.
But I mean, you can't deliver the car now, right?
No, but he knows that all he's trying to do now is get away.
So now he's just hooning. He's just hooning around.
He's just trying to get away, and he has to drive through 5 towns to do it.
And I think at this point, his associate who has dropped him off to pick up the car has seen that this is going down, and they're like, where's the next Eleanor? Everyone's distracted. Let's go get it.
Right.
So they're filling up the order just in case he dies in a car crash, and they're still going to get their motherfucking money.
Yeah. Except for Gary, because
he's
sucks.
out.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, Gary's out.
No.
Yeah.
That was that's what it looks like when you get voted out.
It's just Pumpkin and the black guy.
You're a fucking tattletale, Gary.
Yeah.
Gary. All right, so keeps chasing around. There's people everywhere, which like implies to me that like those aren't part of the movie.
They're not.
It's just like the people that show up on the side of rally racing, and they're all like within Death Alley.
Some of it is like, yeah, heads up, I'm going to drive down the curb. Some of it's not. All the freeway stuff, he couldn't organize that. He's fucking passing people on the shoulder at 110.
Yeah.
This is some fucking dangerous shit.
Right.
And this guy can fucking drive.
To not movie people. Like, it's dangerous shit if all those people are movie people. Then they're there, and they know what the scene is. These are not movie people. They have no idea what's going on. They're just like, whoa!
People, his wife said that. She's like, the people of the movie that are running for their lives are people who are running for their lives.
God damn it. Don't do this.
Don't do it.
All right, so they get him stopped in this park, but he, like, some guy crawls out of the way, and he's like, And so he guns it, and they start shooting bullets at him, so now the car's got bullet holes in it, but whatever. And there's more car carnage. Like, cars are crashing, and people are like, I've got whiplash now. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
And then it starts getting weird, because then I start paying attention to the female police agents that are sending out the announcements. And they have this giant button that says, Hot Talk Line.
Hot Talk Line.
And I'm like, ooh, that sounds sexy, like you're trying to hook up. And then,
What you wearing?
And the first time I see it, I'm like, no fucking way. So then they keep showing it, and I keep looking at it. I'm like, yep, Hot Talk Line. That is rad. And then
maybe
I start looking at the cop cars, and I'm like, that one kind of looks like the front of a Batmobile from, like, Adam West. And so then it's like, Batmobile. And then I start counting the Batmobiles, but then I think, this is pretty dumb. Maybe I should stop doing that, because Justin was like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll quit counting the Batmobiles. Because he's like, the Batmobile was based off of a real car. They just glue shit to a real car. Just quit looking at it as a Batmobile. And I'm like, all right, fine. Yeah. It was a Batmobile to me.
I want to go back to the Hot Talk Line.
Yeah, Hot Talk. So you're like, on the normal, Oscar 11, you need to get down to Crenshaw. All points bulletin. Hold on for Hot Talk. Wet panties. All points bulletin. Then you're back on the normal.
See, I mean, this is 1974 in LA, Sam. Women had to work twice as hard as men, so she's just moonlighting as a 900 number lady while being dispatched. Oh, the Hot Talk Line is ringing. It's like the bat phone, but instead you're like, oh, hey, big boy.
Yeah. Like, what am I wearing? All of your semen.
What do you want me to do with you? Hit you in the face with a urinal cake? Oh yeah, baby, I'm picking it up right now, and face.
For our younger listeners, like that are very adult people now, there was once a point in time where there was phone numbers where you could call and get charged $5 a minute to talk to a lady that was supposed to be sexy. And I guess you pull out your,
this is before the internet.
The best way to explain it would be watch the film Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, okay. I just don't know what happens, man. Like, of course I didn't call. I never had $5 a minute. Like, even just like, is your refrigerator running? Lady on the other line that I'm being a dick to. $5 a minute? You're nuts. But what does she say? Hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're like, oh yeah, tell me more. What's your name? Oh, that'll do it. Like, what the fuck, man?
I always wanted to call Madame Cleo.
Madame Cleo was like $3 an hour, and there's a point to that. She tells you some lies, and you're like, oh, I feel better about myself. But I guess maybe the lady that you pay $5 to also tells you lies, and you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, she tells you that she's going to come over
aren't you?
Hump you.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to your house and hump you. That's hot.
I've got a string bikini on, even though I'm wearing my flannel pajamas.
Right.
And I'm eating ice cream while I'm talking to you and petting my cat.
You think they worked from home, or do you think it was like a call center?
There's a call center.
The hot talk line is ringing.
The movie Girl 6 is about that too. What Spike Lee movie?
Okay. What a weird time in history, man.
What a weird time in history. How are you going to hump me? With my vagina.
I never thought of that.
Well, wait, how's
Glad
that
you
work?
said it.
You put it on your wiener.
Okay.
This is really hot.
Oh, my pen died. I'm taking notes. Hold on. Can I hold the $5 a minute while I go get another pen?
Yeah.
No. Oh. Can you tell me no again, though? All right, so there's more and more cops everywhere. There's now choppers. There's news planes. Instead of Gary
plane, the country music radio station plane.
Right.
This goes on for so
K-Fox.
long. Between the time it starts to the time it ends, I fall asleep twice.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And I had to get up and get a cup of coffee because I knew after the first time I was like, okay, I cannot do this. I've got to stay up for this. Maybe it's going to be like something really awesome, like Godzilla's going to come and he's going to grab Eleanor and everything's going to be okay because he's going to squeeze it so hard that it turns into a diamond and then he puts it in the car thing. I don't know, but I got to stay up for this. Because Sam's going to be super pissed if I fall asleep.
Yeah, he gets to the harbor, and he drives through like this dirt patch, and cars are bouncing all around, and they think he's stuck, but he's not stuck. The other cops are stuck, and there's like cops chasing him that are getting further stuck after he's like, I'm not actually stuck. And then he gets back on the freeway.
Oh, there's a key point, though, where one of the higher-ups in a plain, unmarked car has had enough of this. He's like, that's it, I'm running this son of a bitch down. And then he slowly gains on him for the rest of the film.
Well, he gets back on the freeway, and then he wrecks into a light pole at 90 miles an hour.
He really did that, and that wasn't planned, and he really did drive away from that.
That's freaking crazy. I mean,
they just drove away from complete destruction of city property.
Yeah. Oopsie. Bye. Still going. More car carnage everywhere. There's like a car that gets rear-ended and catches on fire and they can't pull the people out. And this keeps going on. And I'm like, are those real people? I don't know, but that car's on fire pretty good.
The people don't want to get out. They're like, get out of the car, get out of the car. And you're like, no, this is our car. Your car's on fire. You need to get out. No, it's our car. You can't have it. It's on fire. This is my car. Because they get out eventually and they're like trying to go back into the car.
I think my favorite one was when the trash truck and the...
There's a lady like,
she's
got a
car.
sweet Roadrunner.
Yeah. They get into it and then she's like out and screaming at him. He's like, lady, get back in your fucking car and get out of the street. And then she almost dies.
Man, Roadrunners are bitching. Mm-hmm. You know, if you think about it, like, those colors, you know, those are bold, good-looking, they're like almost Lamborghini-esque colors. They were putting on those muscle cars.
That lime green was, Lamborghini wouldn't even go that loud.
I you know what? Sorry, Dom. Give me a Roadrunner. That's what I want. If I get a muscle car. Not a Charger. Not a Mustangs are for little pussies unless you got a Mach 1 or a fucking, you know.
So what about the lady?
Shelby.
Sorry.
Grandmas drive Mustangs.
Yeah,
they do.
My grandma had a Mustang.
Oh, your fastback is so cute.
So speaking of people in shots that could be dangerous, what about the lady with the grocery cart? That some guy like grabbed her and pulled her out of the way as the cars are coming. Was that a pedestrian that almost died, or The part of the crew saved?
Probably. Also, the debris from the cart hit the cameraman, and he was most likely injured.
Shit.
It almost broke the camera.
What about the lady that was pushing the baby carriage out, and then she dives out at the last second, and the car smashes into it, and it was just filled with cans? And you're like, cans?
That was the grocery cart lady. That wasn't a baby cart.
No, God damn it, you didn't get my joke. That was in Batman. It was in Batman. The car smashes into oh no, look out for the baby. And it's just cans. Maybe that wasn't Batman. What fucking movie is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe it's The Untouchables where the baby's bouncing down the stairs and then it runs out into traffic and it's just cans. Is it The Untouchables? Well, they're having the shootout on the stairs and they're like, hey, it's Al Capone. Oh, yeah, well, I'm Elliot Ness. So we got Tommy guns. And there's a baby and the lady's like, oh, no, my baby. But really, it's just cans.
I don't remember much about The Untouchables because all I remember was there was so much of it in slow motion that I couldn't tell what was going on.
Maybe it was the knockoff. I remember a movie with a baby carriage filled with cans.
Is it The Naked Gun?
Yeah, maybe it's The Naked Gun. Somebody help me out here. All right. Either way, it should have been in this movie. That would have really tied things together for me. All right, so he gets to Carson, and the mayor's like, well, we would like to open up this new police station, and thank you to our men in blue for keeping our community safe. And
and then he's like, he stops the dedication, like, oh, I'm just going to go over to this officer here and see what, officer, can you tell me what's going on? It's a high-speed chase, you dumbass. It just drove by at high speed. Fuck.
It was a car. It's being chased at high speed. It's a high-speed chase. All right, so the cops make this roadblock out of cars in front of car dealerships, and he's like, oh, well, I'll just drive into the dealership, and he starts hooting around inside dealerships, ends up inside the Cadillac service area.
Part that he almost killed his buddy.
Oh, okay.
He was going to do a sliding, drifting J-turn. And he missed his brake point by a lot, and he slammed sideways into the car. And the kid that's in his 20s, he's playing one of the cops, and he's buddies with him. He helps on the crew, too. He's like, I know that he's past his brake. Oh, shit. And he just jumps over to the car, because he's like, there's no way he's going to fucking stop. I understand physics. And he jumps over the car and gets out of the way. And when he hits the car sideways and it pops it back, it misses that guy by like a foot.
Wow.
And then after the shot, he's like, that was great. And he's like, Tobey, you almost killed me. And he's like, yeah, but you're all right. It looks great. We're going to keep it in the movie.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, he gets surrounded in the Cadillac service area, but he gets out again. That's once again he's surrounded. Hey, hold it right there, Buster. Nope, I'm out.
One of the cops leaves a little squirt out, and they're like, "Pete, did you leave that little squirt out?"
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
There's an accident up in the road ahead. There's bodies on the highway, and they're like, "We can't get these bodies out in time. We know the car's coming. We don't know what to do." And so I guess like some nice Good Samaritan was like, well, there's this hood of a Camaro right here. I'll just make a ramp because there's no fucking possible way that hood flew off in a car crash and came landing perfectly back down on the side of a car to make a freaking jump ramp for a goddamn Mustang that's coming down a hill. So the only way I can think is some, nice Valley people put that there.
They were going to jump it with a skateboard after the dead people either died or got cleaned out of there. Stacy Peralta was going to hop over the carnage.
Oh, man. All right. That works. Yeah, so he jumps it. He uses that as a ramp. He slams on his brakes, which was a little like, he should have, if he's such a good driver, Mandry and Pace, he should have seen that down the hill and been like, that's my exit ramp. Get it?
I think it is, and I think it's fine if you hit it at like 50 or 60, not at 110.
No, Dom would have downshifted. Cars don't fly, Brian, except for this one.
Yeah.
That would have been what I would have done. And then you do the exit.
The finger guns.
Exit ramp. Okay. It's comedy. Frustrating process. Because exit ramp. Just everybody's like, yeah, that's dumb, man. But it's got two meanings. That's good. It's good comedy. Very common thing that you see day to day, the exit ramp. But this one's a goddamn hood of a Camaro. You don't see that every day. It's funny. All right. So he gets away.
Jackie's like, it's not. I'm laughing at her face and your explanation.
Yeah, very nice.
He
yes.
gets away. He gets away. Actually, he gets into a car wash.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'll do the Econo wash here, ma'am.
Like,
what
don't
do you think
want
I
the
am?
hot wax? He's like, nah, just wash it.
And so he steals another one that looks just
This
like
is
it.
Great, because there's another one there. And he's like, ma'am, you have to see the manager. We have to rewash your car. And then the guy that works at the car wash is like, that's an adult person, so I'm just going to let him do what he's doing. He must be new. The turnover
official.
here is so high that I don't even know who works here. I worked at 2 different car washes, and this checks out perfectly.
Right.
And, like, so perfectly. So he's like, okay, thanks. And then just do. He leaves.
He could be high
and
as
then
shit, too.
She's like, to the manager, who happens to be dressed as the description of the assailant in the driving the car.
Yeah.
He's like, well, if an adult told you that it had to get washed again, then it's probably true because we only have a couple of those that work here. So they're probably washing it again. What is it? And she's like, it's a yellow Mustang. He's like, there it is. And it's all fucked up. And they're like, oh, shit, the tunnel's on the fritz again.
That happens here all the time.
That happens. It's okay, ma'am. We have insurance.
Oopsie. I'll just say that now. It's in my contract. I say, oops.
I am allowed.
Would you like some coupons?
I am allowed to give you free soft drinks now.
And then the cops pull up, slide sideways, and get out, guns drawn. Put that guy on the hood, arrest his ass, and they're like, well, chase over. They call into the chopper, and the chopper's like calling down to the guys on the ground who's got Mandrake, whatever the hell his name is, stop.
They're arresting they're arresting the manager of the car wash.
Well, he's got gray hair
it's all good.
and a suit.
We got him.
Yeah.
Gray hair and a suit, right? He's looking like the guy. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And everyone at the car wash believes that they did that to her car.
Yeah, right.
Because of the shit that I've seen at car washes. There was a girl that just got her driver's license, and you weren't allowed to actually, no. She'd had her driver's license, but it wasn't like there was a certain tier that you had to get to before you were allowed to actually drive a car. And she was so excited. It was the first time that she got to drive one of the cars. And she got in it, and she slammed into the car in front of her. And then she put it in reverse and slammed into the car behind her. And then she opened the door and she ran. And we never saw her again.
Oh my God.
She just kept
hilarious.
running.
She's still
three
running.
cars were totally fucked up. And I was standing there like, Thursday.
She never stopped. Coast to coast. She reached one end of the coast and ran back the other direction. Forrest Gump is like, whoa, look at her go. Okay, and then our boy drives away after a little bit of casual racism, and that's the movie. Did he win?
Yeah, he got the car there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Are we at questions now?
Yeah.
Do you think that he goes overseas and repos that Bronco for his buddy Parnell? Because once makes it onto the boat,
universe of the movie or in real life?
In the universe of the movie, I feel like he's gonna steal that Bronco back because he fulfilled his end of the deal. He's uncatchable, and he's friends with that guy. And he's like, ooh, $250 is a little heavy for my insurance, guys. They still pay me money. So he's going to steal that Bronco back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and Parnell was like, I'd rather have the Bronco back than the money that you're going to pay me. So he'd be doing him a pretty good solid. So, yeah, that's a nice Ocean's 12 Gone 2 sequence. That's a good setup for that.
How long do you think that Pumpkin just sat around smoking cigarettes, crying to herself, hoping that things were going to work out?
Until she passed out.
Why is she fucking crying?
Because that's her brother, and he just got this shit kicked out of him, and he's out of the family.
So she's crying for Gary? Because the movie...
She knows that Gary's a dickweed, and he's going to rat him out.
Yeah, but she's crying during the sequence where he's walking on the way to drop off Eleanor. Where in Gone Nick Cage, that sequence is Angelina Jolie is begging him not to go because he's going to get busted. She's like... Turn that back in. That one's uninsured. And he's like, God damn it. Fuck. I don't want to, lady.
I would have told her, like, look, 1 out of 48 ain't bad. Don't bitch. And if you want to pay these people back for the car, great. You can do it out of your fucking money.
Here's the deal. We're going to steal one of those next week. We'll fucking paint it and we'll drop it outside. Nobody will be the wiser.
Yep.
I mean, this is ridiculous here because of this uninsured thing. Like, A, how many people were fucking driving around cars uninsured in 1974?
A lot.
B, he put an ad in the goddamn newspaper that said, oh, somebody stole my precious car that I couldn't even be bothered to fucking call a goddamn State Farm guy and be like, hey, can I chuck $20 a month to make sure that if this thing gets fucking hooned around in, I'm covered because it's my most prized possession more than my children, that I put a goddamn newspaper ad out for it? And three, how many fucking people died getting that car back?
Not to mention that nobody responded to his 3 children that he put in the paper and asked them to return those kids, and no question asked, they never returned. Whereas the car actually shows up at some point.
Bring my car back, my kids, but please take my wife.
No, the wife is already dead and under the stairs, Justin.
Jackie doesn't get it. Okay, Sammy, what do you got?
That was my big question, I think, was does he steal the Bronco back?
How many people died because she boo-booed a little about somebody losing their, let's be honest, in 1974, their $8,000 car? You should have got a Roadrunner, you asshole.
Common car produced, I think.
Yeah, right? So how many people died? Like, in the context of this film? 4? 5?
Yeah. Was you could drive without insurance in the 70s?
What the fuck is that even? Or just like it was America and you could do whatever the hell you want that said MAGA people? Like, oh, we got to take our country back because in 1973 we could drive around without insurance or seatbelts or in the back of pickups and everybody died. But hey, God damn it, that's freedom, baby.
Well, apparently the city of Carson was built on the idea of no property taxes, so.
Right? Yeah, that too. That's going to work out. I'm sure there won't be a fucking problem with that later. All right, here we are.
Here we are.
Just the 3 of us. The end of this. Anybody got any more? Because, I mean, it seems like there should be more questions, but there's not because this movie is very void on content, I guess.
And boring.
It's just a big car chase. Yeah, all right. Final recommendations. I'll start with Jackie. She wants to go first.
Boring. Pass.
Boring. Okay.
That's
it? That's all you got?
It was just really, I fell asleep like 4 times. And the most interesting part of this movie was Sam's part at the beginning of this podcast about all the back end stuff, right? And that, if I would have known that beforehand, maybe I would have stayed awake for the movie. But not knowing that and just watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is going nowhere. The dialogue is shit. For like 90% of it, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And who was who, like, okay, yeah, they're stealing some car. Okay, yeah, they're going after this yellow piece of shit Mustang. I would have just said, look, I got you a Ferrari instead of the El Mustango. Let's just call it even. Because apparently Rolls Royces are really easy to fucking steal. Like, yeah, I would have just been like, look, I got you a Rolls Royce and I painted it yellow with a black stripe. So we're good now.
I am also going to give it a do not. I am going to go further than Jackie. I hated it. I despised this movie. This was not only a pile of movie, all of its sequences was just like, well, this is pile of movie, but it's a non-movie. It's a 40-minute chase sequence that is pretty goddamn boring. Yes, there's great driving involved in it, but it's so shot and told. You still have to shoot and edit around great driving to make it. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch NASCAR. Like, I could just watch NASCAR for 4 hours and be bored, right? That's great driving, but it's there's no story there. There's no emotion. There's no connection. You got to have all that. The same principles that apply to every other fucking movie have to apply to your car chase scene too. And this doesn't have it. This is a non-movie, which puts it to me in the same discussions as Monster a Go-Go, Sam. It's a non-movie. No. However, those stunts gets an extra star for the stunts because those are dangerous ass stunts. So it saves itself from that. But yeah, I fucking hated it. I hate this movie. Blech.
Really? I like this movie a lot.
Go. Okay.
I picked it because of how much I didn't like the movie last week. I was like, why would I want to watch Cannonball? I would watch this instead.
Cannonball, right, yeah.
Why watch that when you can watch these? If you're going to watch a car crash movie, this is the car crash movie to watch.
No, it's not. Smoking the Bandit 2 is the car crash movie to watch because it's got all the car crashes in it, and it also sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah,
I like this one better than Smoking the Bandit 2.
I do not.
Smoking the Bandit 2 didn't even have an end. It just stopped happening.
It's just a big pile up. It's just a big pile up. That's all this movie is a big pile up.
It has an end of the story. He steals the last car. Gets away with it.
No, hated it. But that's 1 out of 3 is bad.
It's not a majority.
Nope.
Okay.
Apparently only I like this movie.
Not to mention that
I didn't have to pay $335 for it.
No. But not to mention that half of it was shot in a way that you couldn't see what the hell was going on.
That's also true.
And that was super annoying.
By a guy that stole cars for a living, apparently.
I know. But also, what's his name from Miami Connection also has a similar story. And Miami Connection is a beautiful, wonderful, terrible movie.
Yeah.
The story behind I'm with Jackie. That is very interesting. The production. You did a better job ad-libbing, Sam. Well, not ad-libbing because it's based on fact, but you didn't have it's not like you're reading a script. You did a better job of keeping me entertained while you were talking about that than this movie did. So you're better than HB Halecki. Tobey, yeah. All right, that's your show. Next week on the podcast, it's Jackie's pick. Jackie, you sticking with the car thing?
Kind of.
Okay.
We are going to watch 1994's The Flintstones.
Oh my God!
What? It is streaming for free, I believe. I'm trying to find it, but it is on a couple of things. I believe it's on Tobey. I believe you can rent it on Prime, but it is free on HBO. And I think it might be free on Prime too. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, good thing that you looked up and are prepared because I'm going to veto that if it's not available.
If we can't make people pay for that.
I'm not making people pay for that.
I'm not making people pay for that.
Especially Sam.
All right, hold on. I got to find it. Watch options. Here we go.
Oh, she's correct.
It is free on Freevee. Watch now on Hulu.com.
Yep. Hulu. Nope, just Hulu, honey.
Okay.
And Disney. Oh, you have Disney Plus, Sam, right?
Yeah.
And Freevee. It says watch now on Freevee.
Yeah, okay. All right. I guess we're doing 1994's Yabba Dabba Don't.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, bud. Can we do Gone in 60 Seconds again instead? Because I would just
do the new one with Nick Cage.
Just do this one again.
We've already done that one.
I really hate Flintstones Yabba Dabba Don't. Okay. I just like doing that because I thought I was clever. That's your podcast. Get out of here. get to the chop.